Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to some more Eternal gameplay. Had a suggestion to check out Total Justice here by Tin Man, so I am going to do that. The link to the deck list will be in the description. We're going to go over and see exactly what we are supposed to be running here. For Sabotage, enemy player discards a spell or attachment of your choice from their hand, sure. Strategize for a little bit of card selection. Vara's Favor for creature kill and ramp. Devastating Setback, some more removal plus ripping things from control deck's hands. Island's Choice is a card I've been a big fan of for quite a while. Negate an enemy spell with cost 4 or more, or kill an attacking enemy unit with 4 or more attack. 3 Extract, kill with the upside of gaining us life, as well as giving us a scout. 2 Slay. Not real sure about this split, but Tin Man did play this to rank 1, so we are going to give it a spin as is. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of Slay, but I guess the life steal plus the scout may be better in this case. 4 Wisdom of Elders, ubiquitous in any primal control deck. 2 Death Strike. 3 Feeding Time to deal with annoying things that tend to do things when they die or come back. Got 3 Rain of Frogs for the same reason as they were in Felon Control, to deal with stuff that we just can't otherwise deal with. 3 Duelist Blade, which is pretty spicy, a 5-cost 4/4 relic weapon that gives us an Aegis when we play it. 4 Harsh Rule, just wipe the board, something I'm a fan of. 1 Celestial Omen to act as an extra of every card in the deck. 1 Azendel's Gift to make opposing control decks miserable. Hopefully we get to play this on them and they don't get to play one on us. 4 Channel the Tempest, because who doesn't love dealing damage and drawing cards? 1 Name Taker. I don't have one of these, I guess we're going to have to craft it. 8 cost 6/4. When an enemy unit dies, the enemy player discards each copy from their hand and deck. Interesting. 1 Sword of the Sky King, very good. And 1 Last Word, a 9-drop 1/1 relic weapon with deadly and quick draw. We can pay an additional 9 to make the Last Word's attacks deadly to players. Very interesting. Very spicy list here. I'm looking forward to giving this a spin. See, our power base is 1 Primal Sigil, 4 Cobalt Waystone, 3 Shadow Sigil, 4 Huru Banner, 4 Seed of Order, 4 Crest of Vengeance, 2 Seed of Vengeance, 4 Crest of Cunning, and 1 Seed of Cunning. Well, we'll go ahead and craft this Name Taker. Ooh, no, go back in there. Hit the wrong button. I always do that. I want to hit back instead of clicking up here. Yeah, create unowned cards. And let's jump into a game. I would like to have a 3rd power in hand, or a duel. But I think we keep this? Would also be much happier if we had maybe a Vara's Favor instead of this Channel the Tempest. Maybe this was a mulligan? Just not sure at this point. Alright, Seek Power, so probably Praxis here. Could be a 3-color deck though. We drew a duel, which is awesome. Still needing a 2nd Shadow, but at least we've got 2 Primal so that we can play our Wisdom of the Elders. But there has been a lot of Praxis on ladder so far, that I've seen anyway. Also a new sort of Praxis Amalgam Splashing Shadow that I may want to look up and see exactly what it's running. Let's see, guess we'll go for you. That way, depending on what we draw, we can go for our 2nd Shadow rather, or our 2nd Primal, if we happen to draw a 2nd Shadow and we want to kill something. Feeding Time should be pretty good in this match, especially if the opponent's running Dawnwalkers. Well, there's a Temple Scribe, so not too scary. Slay, sure, yeah, we're going to draw some cards. Hopefully we can draw some powers here. Looks like our opponent is on the Shadow Splash here, just noticed that. Yeah, we'll take 1. Statuary Maiden, not such a big deal for us. Well, that is unfortunate. We really wanted to draw a power there. So we could deal with what's on board. I'm more concerned with what's in their hand though, so let's do that. Don't really care about in Cold Blood. I guess we'll take Banish. This deck tends to win, from what I saw in the deck list, with Channel the Tempest plus Relic Weapons. There we go, that's what we want. Alright, let's go for the Rain of Frogs. Get rid of those, I guess. I guess that's the only non-power card in their hand. That's potentially really good for us. Of course, we didn't care about Cold Blood at all, and now they've got units instead. Devastating Setback, sure. Let's just be a little mana efficient and cut down this clock a bit at the same time. Don't care about taking one every turn for a while. And if they want to throw out those froggies we just gave them, we'll just Devastating Setback the board. Threw out one. Yeah, still stuck on power. Oh, we can't cast Devastating Setback. We still haven't hit our third shadow. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I think we'll just pass. We'll take 2 damage here. Still just waiting to draw our powers. Now we want a harsh rule, a justice for harsh rule. Sadly, we didn't get it. Guess we'll go ahead and slay this. We'll hold this other feeding time in case there are recurrent threats in their deck. Not feeling super threatened, at least yet. That could change if they play a few monstrosities we can't really deal with. Alright, there we go. Finally get our justice. And our shadow. I would like to have a sword, but I would like to draw more powers more, so we'll bottom you. And let's set back the board. Hopefully we can deal with their threats on a one-to-one basis from here on out. We're well set up for that for the most part. Again, we're going to go with Slay. Just pass back. May fire this Extract off at their face if they don't present us with an adequate target. And they're not, so... Oh yeah, it's... Sorry, it is not fast. My bad. 7, yep, Channel the Tempest can deal with that, so we'll do it. All this removal spells. Opponent down to 2 cards in hand, while we are at 7, feels pretty good. There's a Heart of the Vault, popping our Aegis. Sure, Temple Scribe. Kinda tempted to double Extract here. Yeah, let's do that. We will keep you on top, sure. Just bolster our life total. Yep, same thing. And if they play out several threats this turn, we'll just Harsh Rule. Don't feel in danger at all, honestly, at this point. Reliquary Raider, we definitely want to kill that. That provides card advantage. So, let's do it. And we'll pass back over. Going to fire off this Wisdom of the Elders, probably no matter what at this point. We can always untap and Harsh Rule if we need to. Yep, there's a cheap Heart of the Vault, provided by the other Heart of the Vault. Let's just go ahead and draw. Just so we don't have to worry about responding anymore. Alrighty, well, we are going to strategize. And we will put... guess we'll put the Seat of Vengeance on the bottom. We're okay for power at the moment. Don't think we want to harsh rule here. So let's go ahead and feeding time. It's appearing like they don't have recurrent threats. We'll still hold the other feeding time just in case. Planning to draw some more cards here. Opponent doing a very good job of filling their hand back up, thanks to the Heart of the Vaults. Plus, you know, Temple Scribes and such. Alright, so we can get a look at what our opponent's dealing with. We'll go with the Rain of Frogs first. Torch us, sure. Another torch. Don't really care about Purify. Torch is not a big bother, neither is the Wasp. Let's take the Dark Return, I suppose. And we're going to go ahead and Death Strike here so they can't attack with it and get its ability trigger. Now we'll Sabotage. And I guess we take Purify, sure. Since they decided to cast their other torch. Low life total, but still not feeling terribly pressured. Just go ahead and bolster our life total a little bit, get that thing off the board. Yes, Channel the Tempest for sure. I'm going to fire this off just in case they drew something we want to take. They didn't. Alright. Froggy Froggy. And we are going to start going for their face. We need to close this game at some point. Yeah, another Aegis to our face seems good, as well as removing that frog. Hello, Carnosaur. You are not going to live very long, just being honest here. Drawing some cards. All the harsh rules, huh? Well, let's Crest of Cunning. We'll bottom you, we don't need you. And go ahead and Death Strike this guy, I guess. Could have waited till their turn. Not really any triggers or whatnot that we care about with the Predatory Carnosaur, but I prefer to just get it out of the way. Another one. Guess we'll just play the Huru banner and pass. Don't care to take one for a couple turns here. Yeah, we need to draw a relic weapon. Sadly, the Sword of the Sky King is on the bottom of our deck. Of course, I still think it was the correct play at the time when we scouted it. There we go. That should help. Yeah, that is exactly what the doctor ordered. I think we're going to go with this first. And in the turn, we'll just hold this in case our Aegis gets popped. Another Carnosaur. Yeah, they are not going to get ahead of us on a one-for-one basis. Let's bottom you. I think we're going to... Actually, we've got the power. Let's channel their face. Then we can feeding time. Smack them with our weapon. And might as well sabotage. Not that that Purify is going to give us any problems anyway. Don't really run units in this deck. Sure. Guess we're going to just channel their face here. Good game, opponent. Alright, this feels worth keeping, so we'll snap it off. Got card draw turn 3. Removal, we can tutor for something. Azendel's Gift if they're on control as well. Looks like they are not, so maybe this hand isn't quite so good in that situation. We will go with our scout land first. Think we want to bottom you at this point, look for some removal. Mono Fire showing so far, that's a decent draw if we can live to the point that we can start playing it. Guess we'll go with you, since we don't really have a 2-cost thing to play. Right, they are appearing quite slow for an aggro deck at this point, which we're very glad of, with the hand we kept. Well, I accidentally misplayed there. I wanted to play this, just grabbed the wrong thing. Bandit Queen, huh? Alright, so we're going to take 8 here. Let's go ahead and draw. No use to hold it any longer. Sadly, we're not going to be able to play our seat here because we need to kill something. See, Waystone, and we'll Feeding Time here. Hopefully we're not just dead. Then we can start chaining off Duelist Blades if need be. Alright, another Ronin. And a Cinder Yeti, so... yeah, we have to do this. Go ahead and get the Warcry unit. They get to bash us for 5, taking us down to 7. Or, you know, closer to dead, actually, at this point now. Alrighty, so we're not going to pull this out. Let's go ahead and strategize just to see. Don't think there's anything we can draw here to put us back in this game. Yep, good game, opponent. And just not real conducive to the aggro matchup that time. Yeah, we can't keep a 1-power hand at all. Well, this is unfortunate. 3 8-drops. Not really much we can do about it except deal. Feeding Time, okay. Well, at least we get to draw some cards next turn. Kotheon, not a huge problem yet. Yep, no blocks. Alright, well that can be an issue. We do want to do things with weapons. Alright, missing power drops again. We're going to fire this off now. We need to hit a power drop this turn. Thankfully we're able to now. A banner. We've got our second green. Now, let's bottom you. We need a harsh rule pretty badly. Alright, strategize. I think we're going to Rain of Frogs next turn. Deal with whatever horrible threats are in their hand. Then hopefully we can start removing threats from the board. Alright, yeah, we can't really deal with... well, actually we can deal with Amelie at the moment. We've got removal for that. So perhaps we want to grab the Aegis unit? Yeah, I think that's the case. We'll grab you. Make sure and play our power and then pass the turn. Would love, 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 love to draw a harsh rule next turn. Hello, Froggy. Not playing out the Amelie. Let's see. You're one off of ultimating Kotheon. So I think we're going to try defeating time. Alright, good. And actually, I messed that up. For some reason, my brain said I couldn't play Vara's Favor and then play Feeding Time, but I definitely could have. We'd have went down to 3, played the Shadow Sigil, went back up to 4. My brain betrays me sometimes. So we'll do that this time, for sure. Go ahead and Death Strike here. Feels like we're falling very far behind this game, though. Luckily, since this deck does run unitless, it blanks a lot of the opponent's cards. Of course, unitless means our banners never come into play undepleted either, so there is that. Strategize, sure. Need an undepleted power, please. That's not what that is. Okay, let's just go ahead and do this. Hopefully we don't die this turn. Well, they're definitely looking for a kill. Frog is actually more of a problem than I'd like to admit here. Because they're taking us to 1, and then if we spend 8 dealing with this, then Frog kills us. Huh. I think we have to strategize. There we go. Awesome. For now, let's put a channel on the bottom. Our weapons should come online now. Opponent did manage to Aegis themselves and keep from discarding their hand that last turn. Going to do it again, sure. Alrighty, so Sword of the Sky King seems to be our go-to here. Gains us 8 life. Yep, just chaining off Aegises like a boss over there. Let's see what's in your hand, opponent. Don't really care about any of this. Guess we'll take a Permafrost. And pass it on back. Kothon, they can pop it. Alright, finally losing those cards that we actually didn't even care about. Strategize. Feel like our play is channel. Let's see. 7, 8, it's not lethal, so yeah, channel this. And then Sky King Sword this. And barring any resistance from the opponent, channel plus the sword should be lethal next turn. But nope, they have resistance. Okay, fair enough. Sabotage useless at this point. Let's go ahead and do the same thing again, I guess. Did finally draw another power, so that's good. Going to discard the Sabotage. Froggy. Froggy's not going to do it, probably. Alright. Even more of a froggy. Yeah, feels awkward, but we're going to slay that and hit them in the face. Guess we'll strategize. And put a strategize on the bottom, then we're just going to pass. Feel like it's going to be very hard for the opponent to actually win at this point, and actually impossible now. Alright, so despite some miscues, we got there in the end. Alright, this hand seems fine. Yep, we'll keep it. We'll lead off with the banner. Don't need to sabotage on the first turn. We have plenty of time for that. As such, we'll also Seat of Order into Strategize. And I think we'll snap the channel to the bottom since we're a long way from casting it. Alright, Crown Watch Paladin. Aegises are a bit of an issue at times. Play our Shadow Sigil. And I think we're on the card draw plan at the moment. This isn't too big a clock. Yeah, we'll draw in response. Alright, well, we wanted a power. Unfortunately, didn't get it. Opponent gets to see our whole hand here because all of our cards fit that description. Alright, taking a Slay. Rip Knife Assassin, sure. Really would have loved to hit a 4th power. Bloodletter for sure. Let's just go ahead and take that Vara's Favor too. Maybe we can stick them on 3 power. Not that they actually need any more with 4 coming at our face every turn at this point. Yeah, another bigger assassin. Alrighty, so looks like we're potentially not going to draw powers and just die here. Okay. Now they're drawing extra cards. Yeah. We're dead. Alright. Good game, opponent. Just take our lumps when we don't draw powers and move on. Nothing else to say. Yeah, throw it back, please. Looks a bit better. Still kind of clunky, but at least we're going to hit our power drops. We do still need a second Justice and a second Shadow, which the game was kind enough to give us the second Shadow. And I mean, eventually perhaps a 3rd Shadow, but that's a long way in the future. Alright, Harsh Rule. Still do need a second Justice for that to be playable. Alright, little Copper Hall Porter there. There we go. That is exactly what we wanted at that point. And I think we'll bottom that, since we're going to hit our power drops for at least the next 3 turns. Would like to get a little bit more interaction in our hands. If we can hold off playing this Harsh Rule, we'd like to do that. Alright, sure. Go ahead and devour, draw some cards, and get a Justice Sigil. As long as it stops that thing from hitting me in the face, that's perfectly fine with me, I feel. I was about to say, we know you have a Justice Sigil. You got another Copper Hall Porter, too. Alrighty, well. Go ahead and do that. I think we want to Rain of Frogs. We're fine with taking damage from this. Alright, so you are a straight up sacrifice deck. We care absolute zero about Slay. Don't really care that much about the Valkyrie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 1 power. Let's take the Direwood Prowler, I think, at this point. Hello, Froggy. Yep. Slumbering Stone, sure. Yep. Alright, definitely a harsh rule turn. So let's do that. They'll get some death triggers here. Probably play out the Valkyrie and maybe even another unit if they drew one from their hand. And then we'll just harsh rule again, hopefully. Fingers crossed, that's our plan. Yep, down to 19. And no, they are very aware of possible overextension, so I guess we'll just pass back 2. Don't care to take 2 for a few turns. Yep, no blocks. Would now like to start drawing more powers. Thank you, deck. Always ask for what you want. Sometimes it gives it to you. Yep. We'll take 2 more. If we draw an undepleted power, we can Name Taker. Ooh, hello. Okay, what is the extortion scheme? Top 3 cards or deal 7 and gain 7 life. Okay. Think we do want to kill you. Devour, sure. Seat of Order, well that's not undepleted. So we're going to get extorted now. So the question is, do we want to take 7 damage or do we want to let them draw 3 cards? I think we're going to let them draw 3 cards of our deck. Oh, wait. Never mind. Yeah, we'll take 7. Would not want them to draw one of our humongous weapons at this point. That is something that we're not really in a good position to be dealing with. Right, Torrent of Spiders. Have Harsh Rule at least. And drew another one. Great. Yeah, that seems the correct move here. Could have also maybe played this and killed one. They would have attacked us for 2, taking it to 1 armor. And then we would have lost it to that Waystone. So I think we need to start trying to close out here. This will also potentially force them to overextend. Alchemist, yep. Take 2 armor off. Down to 1. When does Nightfall end? At the end of this turn? Oh, well, never mind. They've got the second favor, so bye-bye to our relic weapon. I guess we'll go with Strategize. We will bottom the power. We'll strategize again. And bottom the setback. And then we'll go ahead and feeding time this so it doesn't come back. They still have that Valkyrie in their hand. Basically a vanilla 3/3 versus us. There it comes. Right, sack, get another extortion scheme. So this time we have to let them draw from our deck, unfortunately. Yeah, we have no choice. We have Island's choice. I mean, there's that. See if we can draw a power to play. There we go. Channel is what we wanted to see. If we're not dead this turn, we should be in okay shape. Tempted to just kill this in case they have protect or something. Yeah, in fact, I think we're going to do that. Just to be sure. No weapon from our deck, please. Nope, they did. Alright, that's a problem. That is kind of why I didn't want to let them have it. So, feels like we're just dead here. We can Rain of Frogs to pop this, but then we can't channel the Tempest. And we could channel to pop it, but then we're left with, at max, 2 power to do anything else with. Let's start with this, I guess. I mean, Sabotage would have been great if we had drawn it instead of the Rain of Frogs there. Guess we'll just take a look at their hand. Yep. Turn all those into frogs. Good game, opponent. I think we can keep this. We've got the power to start chaining our strategizes. Feels worse when we're on the draw for sure than on the play. However, we can start on next turn if we draw an undepleted power, which is why I'm playing the Scry land with, or the Scry power with the Primal in it, just in case we do draw a Sigil or a Waystone. We didn't, so kind of a moot point. Go ahead and with this, since it's always going to be depleted no matter what. I kind of do think we want that, so let's keep it on top. Opponent's not appearing to be particularly aggressive at this point. Looks like Armory. Saw a Sword of Icaria there. So let's lead off with a Strategize. And we will definitely bottom the Channel the Tempest. And play this, because there is some % possibility that we can play this undepleted and get off a Rain of Frogs next turn. Right, going to be taking 3 to the face while the opponent gets some more cry going. Ooh, we can. Awesome. Let's see what you're working with there. Alrighty. So what is the scariest? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have no power in hand. So I think that Quarry's the correct take here. Just to try and keep them from getting the powers to play what's actually in their hand. Well, they drew one anyway. Never mind. Come on, Highwayman. We know you're there. Right, Channel, sure. Really, really wish you were a Harsh Rule. Think we're priced into feeding time here, so we're going to do that. Sword of Icaria is just kind of bashing our face in over the turns. When they ever do draw whatever unit or weapon that they've been battle crying onto, it's going to be a very sad day for us. They're going to have a blast, I'm sure. Another Froggy, sure. Well, at least we can get an Aegis up. Feel like we need to draw some cards here. Another Rain of Frogs is really not what we're in the market for. Well, we can't play whatever we draw no matter what, so let's just pass for now. We could just be dead here. Come on. And we are. Sure, let's just see what was on top. And then we'll concede gracefully. Yep. Good game. I think I want to mulligan this. It's just a little too high on curve, and honestly, I'm not a fan of sabotage and control decks. I think cards of that ilk are much better in aggressive decks that want to strip away kill spells from their opponent's hand so that their beaters can get in. Yeah, we don't want you. Was hoping we would have a really good outing with this deck, and we may now. I know Tin Man posted that he built this to combat Carnosaur decks, and after playing yesterday and seeing Praxis as every second deck, I was hoping that the trend would continue, but you never can tell. Let's go ahead and snap off a Sabotage. We'll take the Obelisk. That is definitely the scarier card for us. Don't care too awfully much about the Torch since we don't have units for them to kill. Let's play that and just pass back. Maybe should have played the Waystone into Rain of Frogs. There's a Reliquary Raider. Do we want to let them draw a card? That's the question. I think we're fine with that at this point. We'll go ahead and Rain of Frogs. Hopefully get one of their big threats, and we have a choice. We're definitely taking World Bearer since they have two of them. So 2 frogs, Carnosaur, and a Torch. And whatever they draw from Reliquary Raider plus the card for their turn. Dawnwalker, okay. We need a feeding time to deal with that. They are 1 time influence off of it starting to recur. So the question is, do we harsh rule here? They're also 1 influence or 1 power off of playing Carnosaur, which is a little harder to deal with. I think we may actually want to just extract here. And I'm not real interested in drawing another Sabotage. Let's go ahead and strategize. And Devastating Setback seems okay, honestly. But we've got a Sweeper, and maybe they'll play out that Carnosaur for us, so let's put that on the bottom. We're also 2 power off of Channel the Tempest, so maybe we can get to that. Yep, going to take 6. Please play out your Carnosaur or some other similar gigantic thing. Thank you. Now I feel a lot better about harsh ruling. Heart of the Vault off the top. That is disappointing, but at least we have the Death Strike now. They do have the influence, so here's Dawnwalker back too. I guess we just deal with both of these again. We're going to wait on the Death Strike because they may play a Behemoth or something pre-combat that we'd rather kill. Then again, we may just take this and draw some cards trying to get to Channel the Tempest. Right, another Raider. I think we're going to kill this. Just didn't have the guts to take it there. That's a little sad. Let's see if we can find a kill condition for this thing so that they can't draw extra cards on us. It's not really what I was looking for. Neither were either of those, so I guess they are going to get to draw a card. Also going to feel bad to channel that thing, but you do what you have to do. Oh, I'm an idiot, talking about maybe they would play a behemoth. We frogged their behemoths. So no behemoths are forthcoming in this match. That's a problem. Need another sweeper now. Alright, that's not exactly a sweeper. Let's do that. Bottom ya. Still think we kill this one, so they don't draw any more cards. Island's Favor can kill this next turn. We're going to take 10 minimum. I think this is kind of necessary. Rain of Frogs is late. I have so many mixed feelings about Rain of Frogs. So often it feels like a do-nothing card. There's another behemoth destinying itself. Name Taker with Dawnwalker feels real bad, honestly. As if we kill that, when it's out, it puts all the rest of the Dawnwalkers in there to be reanimated. Yeah, need a Harsh Rule, please. Harsh Rule, one time. That's not what that is. Alright, so we can play Rain of Frogs plus both our removal spells, so I think we have to do that. Hopefully something in their hand worth taking. Torch. That's right, we knew about that. Well, Torch is gone. So we're going to go to 3 here. Let's slay that. Then we can Island's Favor this one. There we go. And sans Torch, we are going to at least get to draw another card. Alright, we're at 1. And we're dead. Good game, opponent. Well, I mean, we've transformed 100 things into frogs, so I guess that's an accomplishment? Question mark? Alrighty, there again is the deck that we were running today. The link to the actual deck list by Tin Man is in the description below if you'd like to check that out. Again, just like with the Feln deck that we tried out the other day, when the deck fires on all cylinders and you're able to answer your opponent's threats one for one until you get to the late game, it feels awesome, and when you're not, you just feel like you spin your wheels and die. 2 cards that, after playing 2 control-y, Feln-esque type of decks that I'm just really not too fond of are Rain of Frogs and Sabotage. I mean, I get that Rain of Frogs is a thing that is meant to deal with threats that you can't otherwise deal with. The thing is, in this deck especially, I don't think it's as needed. The reason that it's played in straight Feln without the Justice is because Feln cannot deal with relic weapons at all. With the Justice in your deck, at least you have your own relic weapons as a pseudo answer. One thing we don't want to do though, with especially as small a sample size as these videos are, is to be too results oriented in our thinking. I mean, Tin Man did play this to rank 1 masters after all, so it's definitely a deck that can win, and maybe I was just playing it incorrectly. I'm certainly willing to accept that if that's the case. And also, there's more to card games than just winning, so there's that. If this is the type of deck that you enjoy, it's definitely fun to play when it does its thing. That being said, that's all the time that we have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments, and by leaving a like below, it really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.